No matter how the cachet of the WNBA elevates, remember, it could have been even better. You messed it up. You messed it up.
There's a chance that Caitlin Clark has drawn a European proposal that could reshape the...
I'm never going to financially recover from this.
The WNBA is scrambling as chances grow that Caitlin Clark could head to Europe. Maybe the league should have shown its rising star more respect, because her departure would seriously hurt the WNBA. In the end,
she will do her best. I know she's talented, but she's not strong enough and she doesn't have enough experience right now to compete at this.
These were the people Caitlin listened to all year saying she wasn't ready, that the WNBA would be too much for her. Yet look at what unfolded. She tore through the league, broke records with ease, and left
nonsense about things that Caitlin was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from...
Caitlin had no choice after the way these critics treated her. She deserves a new beginning in a league that truly values its elite players and refuses to let them be targeted. The constant rough play and animosity direct...
Look at what the NBA became. Even when Jordan was ascending and the league clearly saw that was the dude, and Nike was marketing the living hell out of Michael Jordan. I wanna be like Mike. It was still Bird and Magic.
Reports suggest that Caitlin Clark has been presented with a remarkable opportunity to play overseas in Europe, and sources indicate she's strongly considering accepting it. But the situation runs deeper than a simple career move. Despite the spotlight, the praise, and the enormous influence she's had on the sport, Clark has dealt with countless obstacles throughout her time in the WNBA. From insufficient on-court support to the league's failure to properly safeguard its rising stars, the issues have piled up. Now they seem to be pushing her toward what could become one of the most unexpected career choices in recent memory. Clark appears to be fed up with how she has been treated and is ready to step away from the league entirely. Her potential transition from the WNBA to Europe is more than a relocation. It's a statement. The reality is that the league has not always shown Caitlin Clark the respect or protection a player of her stature should receive. Whether it's the minimal enforcement of rules, the repeated physical targeting by opponents, or the league's seemingly passive response, it's clear she has reached her limit. We've watched defenders use excessive force against her again and again, routinely pushing past reasonable physical play into outright dangerous territory. At times, it even feels
A basketball argument.
Stephen A.
Making a basketball argument.
We're not saying
No, Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't do that. Don't make it seem like she was averaging 5 points and this was like a handout.
No, it wasn't a handout.
Look at her numbers. Look at her numbers comparable to the other guards that were on the team. That's all I'm saying.
You could even claim that the WNBA has allowed this conduct to go unchecked because they understand that Clark's presence draws eyes to the game and boosts ratings. After all, a bit of controversy keeps the conversation going. But for Caitlin, the absence of real protection has reached a point where it simply isn't worth it anymore. Fans have pointed out that social media is filled with messages from her supporters demanding fairness, accountability, and proper treatment for their favorite player. Yet despite the public backlash, the league's seeming lack of concern,
people are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
In this imagined scenario, Caitlin Clark finally responds to the pleas of her supporters after enduring season upon season of feeling unfairly targeted and overlooked. She chooses to take control of her future by stepping away from the WNBA, deciding she has reached her limit with what she views as the league's lack of genuine investment in her. Clark seeks a fresh beginning, one where her remarkable skill, dedication, and impact on the sport are recognized in the way many believe they always should have been. Now let's consider the potential effects. There is no avoiding the reality that, in this scenario, the WNBA would face a major downturn for failing to grasp how essential Caitlin Clark had become to its momentum. Without her presence, the league would likely see an immediate dip in ratings and revenue. From casual viewers to die-hard basketball lovers, fans tuned in because Caitlin Clark brought excitement every time she stepped onto the court.
Fact that she was getting all of that, yet all of these eyeballs were coming to the league because of her. The Indiana Fever was turning away games into home games.
Now that she's on her way out, the WNBA is staring down the massive task of trying to replace what she brought to the league. Yes, there are other standout players like DJ Carrington and Angel Ree, but realistically, they don't carry the same star power or electric presence that Clark delivered. That's not a knock on their talent. Both are incredible competitors, yet Caitlin Clark operated in a completely different stratosphere. Fans weren't just tuning into the WNBA, they were tuning in specifically to watch her fearlessness, her deep-range shooting, and her ability to completely change the momentum of a game. The full scope of Caitlin Clark's influence is only now coming into focus for the league. Losing her would translate to millions in lost revenue from tickets, merchandise, broadcast deals, and sponsorship partnerships. Every part of the business would take a serious hit, and what stings the most is that it didn't have to end up like this. The league had every chance to ensure her safety on the court and to properly support her as the face of the WNBA. But ultimately, they failed to deliver.